Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Rafael's Insights. Welcome. I welcome you into the Rose of Tart, the Divine, the Beautiful. This is going to be the predictions of April 2024. April 2024 definitely is going to be a very moved month in itself. April's always a month that's very radical in itself because of the energy that dominates it. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know my private readings are open. There's still a few left, so you guys go check it out. I'll leave the description below. I'll leave the link so you guys can go and find it. I also opened a new website. I keep telling you guys about it. If you already know what you need, that's a perfect website for you. Go and check it out. You'll be able to find every single sort of candle work that you would need in terms of that you already know you need. Whether you have bad juju, you want to cleanse your house, you want to do other stuff. But if you need something different that's not there, I know how to do pretty much anything and about everything. So you guys can always get your consult, or you could get a consult for in general consult, or you can get the custom work consult. Anyways, let's get started and let's move on. Let's see what's in store for April 2024. The card that's going to be dominating April 2024 is going to be the card of the Emperor. Tells me that there's going to be a lot of radical changes in this month in terms of politically, in terms of people in power, in terms of governmental. The card of the Death card is also dominating the month of April, which tells me as well that death is galloping behind people in power and people who were in power. I see the death of an ex-president as well, but we'll get to that in just a second. And in terms of the eclipse on the 8th, in terms of the Devil's Comet, tells me that it's going to be a very moved month in terms of astrologically, meaning the Earth is also going to be moving a lot. Lots of seismic activity and lots of radical energy in terms of climate as well. The energy of the Hermit says that it's continuing to expose secrets in Hollywood. Secrets from bad people who are doing bad things. More accusations for more people come forward, and more secrets being exposed from child actors and more. The card of the Temperance tells me that between Israel, Gaza, Hamas, there is going to be another ceasefire. But I still see that Israel is going to be hard-headed and is still going to invade, I believe it's Rafah. Still going to invade Rafah, or is still going to continue. It's not going to be over just yet, because I see someone claims victory between Israel and Gaza and Hamas. Between Russia and Ukraine, I do see that Russia's going to want to negotiate again, but it's not going to go anywhere. There I see someone's going to claim victory as well, whether they either split it in half or Russia claims victory over Ukraine. I also see that what happened with the terror attack in Russia. You can't believe Putin. You can't believe Putin because from what I'm seeing, is that there's something more going on there, because it's too coincidental. He just got elected. He has to do something to gain people's trust. And now that he took down this enemy, it's too coincidental, it's too weird, I see that was planned, and I see that was unfortunately a maneuver that Putin did. And with the Holy Week, I had already told you guys, the devil is always close with the Holy Week. The devil, when you're celebrating God, when you're celebrating religion, the devil is always closest to those who are closest to God. That's why there's so much crazy activity that's going on right now. We're still 1 week before April, right? And I see atentados in churches in the middle of celebrations. I see a lot of violence in the middle of the Holy Week, or even the rest of this week, because Good Friday, and then there's always all this demonic energy that gets close to when you're celebrating religion. And I see a lot of violence. I see people very angry, and I see either in April or before April a or maybe even much more ahead, but I see a terror attack in a church or in a religious celebration, or it could even be in terms of some sort of celebration. The eclipse. I definitely do see a lot of movement on April 8th or near April 8th in terms of earthquakes, in terms of cyber attacks, in terms of violence. In the moment the moon covers the sun, it's the energy of God being covered, meaning there's going to be a lot of energies of catastrophes. A catastrophe on April 8th or near April 8th, or even violence, mass shooting, terror attack on April 8th or around April 8th as well. But the main thing that I'm seeing is earthquakes around that date as well, and cyber attacks. Death is galloping around people who are in power and were in power. In Latin America, Cuba, Venezuela, I see the death of an ex-president. And I also see in the month of April or the weeks to come, the death of someone in political power or that was in political power. In Cuba, I see people continuing to fight for their freedom. I see that there's positive changes coming to Cuba, and I see a coup that the people in the streets are going to continue fighting for their freedom. And in Venezuela, I see that the US and other countries are going to be asking and almost demanding that there's fair and square elections so that positive changes come to Venezuela. I also see that there's going to be power outages in April as well. But in terms of the eclipse, I'm not seeing that there's 3 days of darkness, but I do see that there's going to be power outages in the month of April. The realeza in Spain. The realeza in Spain, I see that the UK is not the only one that's going to be dealing with health issues. The energy of death is following the realeza in Spain, and I see a tragedy, somebody ill, a catastrophe as well. I see that Leticia or someone in the family de la realeza in Spain needs to take care of themselves because the energy of death is following them as well. And I do see that it's going to be a weird month because it's weird because I see ice, snow. I'm not sure if it's snow or if it's just hail, but I see like a hailstorm or a snowstorm. Once again, I know it's supposed to be getting hot. That's what's so strange about climate. It's and I also see floods, but I also see fires and I also see rain, and it's confusing to me because I just don't know what to focus on anymore. But I will tell you this. Climate's going to continue to be very radical. I see fires, I see floods, I see hail or another snowstorm. And in terms of the hurricanes, I see strong hurricanes again, but this time in the Gulf or the Pacific. We didn't get any in the Gulf. Let's recall that last year. And I do see floods in the United States, in Asia. I see a lot of water in the United States. The eclipse is also going to be activating volcanoes, making them move again. I still see a volcano erupting near Australia or by Australia. I continue to get this vision of a volcano erupting. I also see that volcanoes are going to be waking up with this eclipse. Earthquakes, since there's so many astrological movements, the comet, the eclipse, it's going to be a shaky month. It's going to be a month of earthquakes. In terms of earthquakes, I see an earthquake in the United States, Los Angeles, California, 3.3, 4.6, or between 4.6 to 6.0. In Mexico, I see an earthquake 5.2, between 5.2 to 6.3. And in Mexico, Latin America, Chile, earthquakes between 5.2 to 6.3 as well. Definitely it's going to be a shaky month because in the moment that there's so many astrological movements, they're letting us know volcanoes are going to be erupting or waking up. and there's going to be a lot of seismic activity. I also see a meteorite either landing in the Gulf or landing by water. For some reason, I'm getting visions of a meteorite in the month of April or the weeks to come, but I see it landing in the Gulf or in the water. I also had a vision of a woman who is very well known in Mexico or very famous in Mexico, Latin America, a woman who's very well known in Mexico, Latin America, passing away. She seems to be mid-age or older, already in a older age. Other than that, there's so much more to tell you guys, but I think that's it for today. I'm going to give you the second part maybe on the 1st of April or the beginning of the month of April. That's going to be the second part because there's so much more, you guys. I have pages and pages of stuff written down here. I just could not, I don't want to make this video too long. I gave you whatever I thought was the most important, and that's about it. Other than that, it was an absolute pleasure. It's always a pleasure. You guys have a great month, and be prepared. For those who live in areas that you get constant power outages, make sure you're prepared because I do see power outages. Other than that, it's an absolute pleasure. You have a great one, and it's always a pleasure. Make sure you guys follow me and hit the like button. Go to the description below and check out my other sites. Bye-bye.